But I promise you, because my son is a veteran, that everybody who put that uniform on did so to protect their families and their friends and their loved ones. That's why they did it. Now he's telling them to point bayonets at their neighbors. And I just want to let everybody know, if you are a member of the United States Armed Forces or the National Guard, you don't have to follow an illegal and immoral order. You don't have to follow an immoral order. You don't. An immoral order and an illegal order is no order at all. I want you to know that Martin Luther King, he lost his life in the struggle to help sanitation workers, but those workers won that strike. They won that strike, and you and I are going to win too. We're going to win. And many people who we love and are deeply, deeply precious to us are going to suffer. Maybe some of us will face an individual challenge. But for those who don't make it to the end, the rest of you have to carry on. The rest of you have to carry on. You have to promise to us and each other that you will not give up this fight for our country. You have to promise to us and each other, and mostly to yourself. Now I'm going to wrap up, and I want to say this. You may ask yourself, how can I get involved? Well, you are already involved. You did it. But every one of us has to be an ambassador back to America to recruit more and more people to this movement. Every one of us has to reach out. We need the clergy, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, Hindu, Buddhist, no faith at all, atheists. We need them all. We need to build the movement with our clergy. We need to build a movement with our labor unions. We need more labor groups involved. We need to build our movement with more neighbors, build our movement with more veterans groups, build our movement with more anti-war groups, build our movement. The people who study this say that if you get 3.5% of the country to oppose the dictator, you're gonna win. Did y'all ever hear that? That's all about 12 million people. And I'm gonna tell you, there's clearly 12 million people out protesting Trump today. So no kings, no kings, no kings.
To send today, in addition to solidarity and being here together. So thank you for coming out here today. I've got the pleasure of introducing someone who fights for justice for much of her career, a civil rights attorney, founder of the Racial Justice Network, and former president of the Minneapolis NAACP, introducing Nekima Levy-Armstrong. Thank you.
How y'all doing? Y'all don't know how many text messages and calls I received this morning of people saying stay home because of what happened in the middle of the night. And of course, I had to come out and stand with the people. We will not be afraid. We will not turn around. That's exactly what they want us to do. The timing of that attack was not a coincidence. They knew full well that tens of thousands of Minnesotans and people around the country were going to stand up, fight back against fascism, against kings, against the Trump administration. We don't give a damn that it's his birthday. Period. We're here to stand for our rights as the people. So my name is Nekima Levy-Armstrong. I'm a civil rights attorney, a mother, and a freedom fighter who refuses to bow to fear or to false kings. We gather today as part of the No Kings movement, not because we hate America, but because we love it too much to let it slide into authoritarian rule. Let me be clear. What happened recently at Lake and Bloomington in Minneapolis was not just a raid, it was a test. A test of how far federal agencies can go in the heart of our communities. No arrest of suspects, no justice, just trauma, just intimidation, just silence. And we've seen this same tactic just days ago in the place where I grew up of Los Angeles, where peaceful protests against ICE raids were met with Marines and the National Guard. Curfews, mass arrests. Trump just didn't escalate. He deployed active duty military against citizens. What a coward. There's something else I want to call him, but I'm on my best behavior today. You can use your imagination. He did this without state consent, without shame. That's not leadership, that's dictatorship behavior. And these raids weren't about justice. It was a message, a warning, a flex of federal muscle meant to frighten and silence us. But today, we're sending a message back. We are not afraid. We will not be silenced. And we do not bow to kings. No kings, 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 no kings. This is about the soul of this country and who it belongs to. It belongs to us. And we know this same administration is trying to divide and conquer. They're hoping for a race war, but we are not taking the bait. This same administration is targeting DEI programs, Black history, truth in education, and the rights of poor people to exist and be seen. He's cutting what helps us and feeding what harms us. Billionaires get tax breaks, families get raised. That's not freedom. That's feudalism in disguise. But we are not afraid, and we do not bow to kings. We've seen this before. In Ferguson, in Standing Rock, after George Floyd, and we rose. We organized. We made the world listen. Now it's our turn again. We march today for the people, for our immigrant neighbors, for the LGBTQIA community, for Black families who deserve justice, for students who are told their history doesn't count, for workers who are told that their lives don't matter. Your lives matter. Your work matters. You matter. We don't bow to kings. We march because democracy is not a parade. This isn't about left or right. It's about right versus wrong. answers to the people or the other way around. We, the people, have the power. Don't get it twisted, and don't let that fake king fool you. We don't bow to kings. So let the message ring out from St. Paul to Washington, D.C. No tanks, no troops, no kings, just us. And I'll close with a reminder. We're not just resisting kings. We're rebuilding democracy, block by block, voice by voice. From Lake Street in Minneapolis to the streets of Los Angeles, we rise together and we will not be silenced. All power to the people! No king! No king! No king! No king!
Wow, that was exactly the message we all needed to hear today. Thank you so much. Now we've got our next speaker. I'd like to introduce her. It's Sarah, lead organizer with Copal. Thank you.
My name is Sara Guadalupe, and I stand before you, an organizer representing Copal, my immigrant brothers, sisters, and fellow community members. I want you all to look around here today and understand the weight and gravity of this moment. It is no secret that we are witnessing in our country blatant abuse of power and a direct attack on all the ideals of which we are meant to stand for as a nation. We see what is happening across the country in Los Angeles, Austin, Chicago, even in our own streets here in Minneapolis. State governance completely disregarded as military personnel is being weaponized against ordinary people by a wannabe king who considers himself above the law. Throughout history, we have proudly declared that we are a democracy. But I want to ask you, who was this democracy for? Was it for the Dakota people whose land we stand on today? Was it for the enslaved Africans or immigrants whose backbreaking labor is exploited until it no longer fits the king's agenda? This is a historical and pivotal moment. We must continue to resist the fascist and authoritarian regime which is being imposed on us every day. But also, we have the opportunity to use this moment to redefine democracy. We have the opportunity to create a government which does not prioritize the elite, billionaires, but rather all people, regardless of their skin color, identity, or economic class. This is what real popular democracy looks like. We must continue to hold this administration accountable. We must continue to resist the breaches of our Constitution, but let us also be clear with our vision and demands. Together, we can fight for a democracy which is authentic and inclusive to all people. We can redefine who we are and what democracy looks like in this country. Together we can and will prevail. Gracias. Adelante.
All right. We all know that art, culture, and storytelling are critical pieces of this struggle. So next up, we have a Minneapolis poet who some of you may know as Guante. Please welcome Kyle Tran Myrie.
This is about grief and how we hold it and what we might do with it. The ancestor on my shoulder doesn't tell me to put the brick down or that the weight isn't worth it. I'm sure many of you are familiar with that heaviness, right? Where the guilt or grief or just the daily shipwreck of the news, all this information we already know, how things are bad, how they've always been bad for some of us, and how shining a light on the bad thing doesn't change it, but can be a first step. How a big march like this can be a first step, but it's never a destination. How going back to normal is going backwards, and how desperately the cowards in power want you going backwards. Want you to put the brick down, want you to focus on your job, make money, focus on your family. But I don't have a family without immigrants and refugees. The word family means nothing to me when it doesn't include trans people. The word community means nothing when it doesn't include people with disabilities. Words like justice and peace, they are empty when they don't include Palestinians. There are no billionaires on my block, no kings welcome in my grandmother's kitchen, her voice a beacon. Don't you dare put that brick down, not yet. There are days so heavy they pull the light in. Dawn after darkness, silver lining, guiding star, all that light beyond our reach, and all this heavy held close. These bricks we carry, engraved with the names of all who carried us, made from the mud of home, heavy, like telling the truth in a nation ruled by liars, heavy, like refusing to leave anyone behind, even when your enemies demand it, even when your allies demand it. Heavy, like grief, the ghost we all carry, the ancestor on my shoulder tells me, when you feel yourself flickering, remember, your job is not to be the light, not to shine with perfect clarity or illuminate on your own every evil in this world. Your job is not to be the light. It is to help build the lighthouse. And for that, we need to get our hands dirty. We need to join organizations. We need more than brilliance. We need bricks. No king carries that weight. We do. No king knows the names of our neighbors. We do. No king protects the water, shares food with the hungry, shows up arm in arm with 100 other people when ICE tries to tear apart a family. We do. And we will. And we carry the radiant future, a reckoning, a promise, a song, this weight, this love was never a burden. It is what keeps us strong.
Yeah, let's get a round of that in right now. No kings! No kings! No kings! No kings! Thank you. All right, our next guest here is Monique Colors Doty, the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Minnesota, co-founder of Black Lives Matter Twin Cities Metro, original member of the Twin Cities Coalition for Justice. Monique is the aunt of Marcus Golden, who was killed by St. Paul police in 2015. SPPD buried Marcus in lies, but his family and friends buried Marcus with love and truth. She believes that an injury to one is an injury to all, and supports the work of various organizations to connect the struggles of oppressed people through intersectional activism to support a sustainable movement for liberation. Thank you as we welcome Monique to the stage.
I am truly humbled to be here today. I don't take this work lightly, and I appreciate the solidarity and the work that's being done in the sharing of this platform. And I want to thank all of you for coming out in spite of warnings that came from State Patrol and whatnot. This is what we have to do. We have to stand up in the face of evil. We cannot, we cannot cower down to threats. We cannot give up. And while we had some horrific news today of our senator and her husband violently murdered, it echoes to me the killings of Black and brown men across this country, and I wonder, do the people have the same compassion and energy that they felt today?